Let's take a look at function notation. So standard notation, we normally see something like y equals 2x squared plus 3. Now with function notation, it actually looks very similar, but instead of the y, we're going to see an f of x equals 2x squared plus 3. The function notation replaces y with our f of x. So they are equal. So when you see f of x, that really just means y, and vice versa. So what does f mean? F is the name of the function. And if you remember, x is the input, and f of x is our output, because it's our y value. What f of x doesn't mean, f is not a variable. And then we're not going to multiply f and x together. I like looking at it as if it were my directions. What did I plug into the function to get that certain value? So let's try this example first. F of x equals 3x plus 2. So we're supposed to find the range of each function, but more so I want to focus on being able to plug in and then solve for that y value. So domain, that represents our x value, so we're going to take that and plug that in. And so we'll do the first one. The first one is f of x, so f of, and we're going to plug in the negative 2. F of negative 2. So wherever I see the x value, I'm going to put negative 2 in place of it. So 3 times negative 2 plus 2, and then I simplify. So 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6 plus 2, and so that equals negative 4. Eventually what this is going to mean is when we plug in these values, this is going to be a point on that graph. So that's our focus, and that's where we're headed eventually, and so that's why we're practicing these. Let's do the next one. So f of 0, so I'm going to plug in 0 from here. So that's 3 times 0 plus 2. So that cancels, and so the answer is just 2. This goes away. Then our last one is f of 2 equals 3 times that 2 plus 2. So that's going to be 6 plus 2, or our answer is 8. Okay, and again, that's what I want you to find, is just what is that y value. So let's practice with these now. Now we need to remember our order of operations, and that's PEMDAS or GEMDAS. So P is our parentheses. We do whatever happens inside. Then we have the exponents. Then we have to multiply. So those are the three that I want to concentrate on. So let's do, our domain is negative 2, or x. So g of negative 2 equals negative 4 times negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 minus 7. So we simplify. So first, we have to look at the exponent. So we look at p parentheses inside. So if I cover everything up, I look inside, there's nothing I need to do. So parentheses, I don't have anything to do with that. But e, that's the next thing we do. So really, really important. So we have to take a look at our exponent here. Okay, so we're not taking a look at that 4. We need to do this operation first. So this becomes negative 4 times, and then negative 2 times negative 2, that becomes a positive 4. Students always want to multiply that first. Please don't multiply that. So it's negative 4 times a positive 4. Then we have negative 3 times negative 2. That becomes a positive 6 and minus 7. So this is a negative 16 when I multiply that out, plus 6 minus 7, or negative 16 plus 6, that's negative 10 minus 7. So the answer is negative 17. So let's try that again. Now, just to kind of clarify too, is that this g of negative 2, we don't do anything with it. We're not multiplying. We're not doing anything to it. It's just our directions. What did we plug in to the function? So it helps us out, especially when we're plugging in lots of values. Let's try the next one. Let's do g of negative 1. So it's negative 4 times negative 1 squared minus 3 times negative 1 minus 7. So we square first, so that becomes a positive 1. And then negative 3 times negative 1 becomes a positive 3, and then minus 7. So this is a negative 4 plus 3 minus 7. Negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1 minus 7, or our final answer is a negative 8. Let's do the last one. G of 2. And so that equals negative 4 times 2 squared minus 3 times 2 minus 7. So we do the exponent first here. So that becomes a positive 4. The negative 3 times 2 becomes a negative 6 minus 7. So it's negative 16 minus 6 minus 7. Negative 16 minus 6, negative 20 is a negative 22 minus 7, and the whole answer is negative 29. Okay, so go ahead and try these out. Let me do one more example for us. Let's do number 9 over here. So everything else looks the same. Okay, so 2 through 7 are the same. You just plug it in. And then number 9, it looks a little different. And again, we need to think about PEMDAS. And so let's plug it in. Let's do negative 3. So f of negative 3, we're plugging negative 3 in. This is negative 3 plus 1 squared minus 2. So looking at our order of operations, we have to do parentheses first. Now looking inside the parentheses, I actually have to do work in there first. So I have to do negative 3 plus 1. So that becomes a negative 2. Okay, and then squared minus 2. So I did PEMDAS, I did the P in PEMDAS. Now I look at exponent. I actually have an exponent, so I have to do this first, not the number in the front, not the negative. So that negative still stays there. This becomes a negative, and then negative 2 squared is a 4, and then minus 2. So notice the negative stays in front. This is a negative 4 minus 2, which is a negative 6. Okay, so if you try this out, the next answer will be negative 51 for 6. And then if you plug in negative 1, you will get a negative 2. Okay, so I hope this helps you out. Finish up the rest of this worksheet to get some more practice. And if you pause the video, I'll put all the answers up, and then just the answers at the bottom, and then that should help you out. Okay, thanks for watching. So here are the answers. So I'm hoping this will help you out. You can always double check, make sure you have the same answers. And if you have questions, you can ask questions in class. Thanks for watching.